Hi everyone, it's Lisa Graham with Creative Life Scrapbooking, wishing you happy holidays. And I'm bringing you a quick little video about my layout here that I did for the Creative Life Scrapbooking 2023 Holidays event, right? Sketchbook, fun layouts that we have. And I'm going to just dive into a little bit here and show you how to get a little bit of extra mileage from your recipe templates. We all know how we use them, right? You trace, cut them, put them on your pages. I do that here, but also I go a little bit one step further and I use them to emboss on vellum. And don't worry if you do not have the templates I used. We have options, right? Most of us have things in our stash that we can substitute. And I did use the candlelit recipe template. Don't worry if you don't have this. We have options, and I'll go through a few of those. So, okay, well, let me go in. I'm not going to do all of the candles, of course, but I will show you the techniques that I used. And what I'm going to do first is apply a little bit of adhesive to my recipe template, because that I found was easier than using the clips. But you do what works for you. I just put a little bit on here. I'm going to be placing the vellum on top of my recipe template, and I don't have to do the whole thing here. I'm not going to do the whole border. I picked and I chose which ones I wanted to use. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do this tall candle here. And I'm also going to use the Cricut BrightPad, which really helps me a lot. And not only doing it so that you can see it on the video, but also so I can see it when I trace it. Because if you see, now this is vellum from, oh, it was the autumn collection, I think, but I did not use this in my layout. I used most of them from Serene Waters and Cue the Blue, but I ran out of that. I've been doing a lot of vellum work lately. So I'm just going to put this on here so you can see it, but if you can't really see the outline of the template until you turn on the Cricut BrightPad. That helps so much. Really, it's fantastic. So what I'm going to be using to emboss is the pointy tip of my multi-purpose tool. You also could use the stylus that comes with your envelope and bow maker. Personal decision, whatever you want. I picked and made some of these taller. You can use whatever you want. You could do the whole thing and cut it like that. I wanted to use them individually and overlap them. So that's what I did. So here's the key. You need something to give you a little bit, to elevate your vellum. So when you push down, it's going to emboss. Tracing doesn't really work. It scratches it a little bit, but you really need something, a template, something to raise it up, okay? And I'm just going to use this, trace on the inside to give some detail, and then I'll trace on the outside. And when I cut it away, I will cut on the outside of the tracing lines, which is the embossing. Oh, you probably can't see that. There. Put it up there, and really, that's it. Now, I did fill them in before. It really didn't show up as much, but you can if you want. Here, I'll do every other one so you can see. You can see already as I'm tracing it, it really isn't doing a lot there. But then I'm also going to trace on the outside, and yep, they're not connected because of the template, but that's okay. It's okay. If you see, even on the outlining I did, I used broken lines, so it's not real specific. So, all right, let me turn this off for just a second. See how that came out? On the other side, it's not really crazy, but on here it is. And I did emboss there, but you really don't see it too much. So I could flip it over and do it again. Not going to do that for this one here. So, but then to cut it out, you know again how to do this. I'm going to cut on the outside because I like that white edge. I hope you can see it. But that's it. That's really it. I didn't trace the flame. I used the punch, the candlelit punch for the flame, but you could trace it out of paper and do that, or you could just wing it, whatever you want. And that's your candle. So I did that on the layout using several different pieces of paper. And then I want to show you too what I did here to add the details on these candles. Like you can see there, I did trace it a little bit. It really didn't work out so good. But I'll show you what I did on there. I'm going to show you how to do the Star of David. And I used 2 additional templates when I created this layout. Again, don't worry if you don't have these because we have options, right? Okay, this is the Hello Autumn, and this has that pretty leaf detail. I used that. And I also used the Summertime that has these diamonds. So, and then I just turned them into triangles. So I'll do that a little bit on here for you to show you. And there's, you know, if you don't want to make a menorah, you could use this to make Christmas trees, or you could, whatever you want, right? So I'm going to just tack this on here a little bit. Again, I'll just do it real light because this one we're going to be moving around. And if you see this here, I know it looks like triangles, but actually they're the diamonds. I started with these 2 here in the center, and then I placed those 2 top and bottom, and then I added half a diamond, so a triangle on there. And I'm going to refer to this as I go, and I'll just start here. And there's 1 diamond, and I put them pretty close to each other. I started doing left and right, and then I added the 2 on top. And there's the 1 on top there. 1 on the bottom. And I try to keep the, you know, the little border there, I try to keep it somewhat consistent. Okay, now with the diamonds, or the triangles, I just used this and I just traced half of the triangle. So you see on the layout, I need to butt it up against this edge. So what I'm going to do is position this edge, which is easier to show you. Let's see. This edge here needs a triangle. So I just put this line on the middle of the diamond, or I guess we call them rhombuses now. Can you see that? I hope you can. And that's what I'm going to trace. So however it works, you know, best for you to do, that's what you do. Okay, and there's the 1. And then we'll do 1 on this side here. Same thing. I'm just going to kind of bisect that diamond with this edge. And then you need to do the 2 on the bottom here. So I'm going to flip it and do the same thing. And that's it. And this one right here. Make sure I did that right. Yep, and if not, we just start over, right? So there's your Star of David, but I know what you're gonna say, Lisa, those aren't diamond, or those aren't triangles. I did the same thing and just bisected the diamonds with one of the edges. That way they were all consistent. I didn't have diamonds and triangles. Okay, and that's it. It's really that simple. I hope this inspires you, and I hope you take a look at your recipe templates and look at them a little differently and see, what can I do with them? What else can I do with them? Right? Getting a little more mileage from our tools, from our stash. Okay. And I'll put the link to our Amazon store for the Cricut BrightPad. It really is a fantastic tool. I love it. I use it a lot when doing detail work. So, okay, and that's it. I use different types of vellum. I just tried to randomize them, elevated some with foam stickers. I tucked them behind this base here because sometimes vellum's hard to work with and the vellum adhesive sometimes shows through. So that's what I did here, and hit it with the base and also the flames. And like I said before, don't worry if these aren't perfect. I just outlined it. I kind of sketched it instead of making it really precise. So Okay, I hope you enjoy that. I wish you a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and Happy New Year. Okay, can't wait for 2024. Thanks for all your support in 23 and happy holidays.